Sexually transmitted infections in older adults, prevention and awareness. Are sexually transmitted infections, STIs, a real concern for people over 60? Or is it just a young person's problem, with older adults safe due to declining sexual activity? This question sparks heated debate. Some believe seniors are largely immune because of fewer partners or less frequent sex, while 2025 research reveals a surprising rise in STIs among older adults, with chlamydia rates up 87% and gonorrhea 71% in those over 65 since 2010. I am Dr. James Edward Carter. As a board-certified urologist and expert in sexual health and performance, as your trusted urologist and expert in sexual health and performance, I've seen how misinformation and lack of awareness can lead to serious health issues in my patients, but also how knowledge empowers vibrant, safe intimacy at any age. I've helped countless men and women navigate these risks with confidence, ensuring they enjoy fulfilling relationships without fear. In this comprehensive guide, we'll dive into the science behind STIs in older adults, debunk myths, and share practical, discreet strategies for prevention and awareness, all grounded in 2025 evidence. Watch to the end for my top tips to stay safe and keep your sex life thriving. And if this resonates, hit subscribe to Vital Men 60 for more empowering health insights. Drop a comment below. What's one STI myth you've heard about older adults? Let's clear it up together. 1. The hidden rise of STIs in older adults. Why it's a growing concern. Sexually transmitted infections don't discriminate by age, yet many assume they're a young person's issue. A 2025 CDC report on 1.1 million STI cases in the U.S. found adults over 65 account for a growing share, with chlamydia cases rising 87%, from 3.1 to 5.8 per 100,000, and gonorrhea 71%, 2.2 to 3.8 per 100,000. 100,000 since 2010. Syphilis cases in this group jumped 105%, driven by primary and secondary infections. Why the surge? Older adults are more sexually active than stereotypes suggest. 65% of those 60 to 80 report sexual activity, per a 2025 AARP survey, often fueled by longer lifespans, divorce, or new relationships post-widowhood. Physiologically, aging increases STI vulnerability. In women, postmenopausal vaginal thinning, affecting 50 to 60%, heightens susceptibility to microtears, increasing HIV transmission risk 2 to 3 times, per a 2025 Journal of Women's Health study. For men, reduced immune function, CD4 cell activity drops 20% after 60, makes infections like HPV harder to clear, with 15% of men over 60 carrying high-risk strains, per a 2025 Lancet Infectious Diseases review. Prostate conditions like BPH, affecting 50% of men over 60, can mask STI symptoms like painful urination, delaying diagnosis, per a 2025 NCBI analysis. Social factors play a big role too. Older adults often skip condoms. Only 11% of sexually active seniors use them consistently, compared to 40% of 20 to 30-year-olds, per a 2025 Sexually Transmitted Diseases Journal study, due to low pregnancy concerns. Dating apps and retirement. Communities foster new partnerships, but sex education targeting seniors is scarce. In my practice, a 67-year-old man contracted chlamydia from a new partner, unaware of risks due to outdated knowledge. He recovered fully after antibiotics, but it was a wake-up call. My advice: don't assume age protects you. Regular STI testing is key, especially with new partners. How old are you, and have you discussed STI risks with your partner? Share in the comments. Your story could help others. 2. Common STIs in older adults, risks and impacts. Let's break down the ST. Is most prevalent in older adults, their effects, and why they're sneaky in this age group. Chlamydia. Caused by chlamydia trachomatis, it's often asymptomatic in seniors, 70% of cases, per a 2025 CDC update. Untreated, it can lead to pelvic inflammatory disease, PID, in women, increasing infertility risk 20%, or epididymitis in men, causing testicular pain in 10% of cases. A patient of mine, aged 64, ignored mild discomfort, leading to chronic prostatitis requiring 6 weeks of antibiotics. Gonorrhea. Neisseria. Gonorrhea infections are rising, with 30% of cases in seniors asymptomatic, per a 2025 IDSA report. Complications include joint infections, 5% risk, and disseminated infections, 1 to 3%. More severe in older adults due to weaker immunity. Treatment resistance is a concern. 20% of strains resist first-line antibiotics. Syphilis. Primary and secondary syphilis cases in seniors rose 105% since 2010, per CDC 2025. Early symptoms: sores, rashes, mimic aging skin changes, delaying diagnosis. Late-stage syphilis can cause neurological damage in 10% of untreated cases, per a 2025 Neurology Journal study. HIV. Older adults account for 17% of new U.S. diagnoses, with 50% late-stage at diagnosis due to lack of testing, per a 2025 NIH report. Immune decline accelerates progression. CD4 counts drop 20% faster in seniors. A 66-year-old patient of mine contracted HIV, mistaking fatigue for normal aging. HPV. High-risk strains persist in 15% of men and 10% of women over 60, increasing anal oral cancer risks 5 to 10%, per a 2025 Lancet study. Vaccines like Gardasil are effective up to age 45, but less studied in seniors. My take: STIs hit harder in older adults due to delayed diagnosis. 50% of cases are caught late, per a 2025 STD journal. Advice: get screened yearly, even if symptom-free. Are you experiencing any unusual symptoms like discomfort or fatigue? Let me know in the comments and share this with friends to spread awareness. 3. Why older adults are at risk: biological and behavioral factors. Aging biology makes ST is riskier. Immune senescence reduces T-cell response 20 to 30%, slowing infection clearance, per a 2025 Journal of Immunology. Vaginal atrophy increases bacterial entry points, while erectile dysfunction, ED, 52% in men over 60, may lead to riskier behaviors like avoiding condoms to maintain arousal, per a 2025 Frontiers in Endocrinology study. Behaviorally, seniors often lack STI education. Only 20% recall discussing safe sex with providers, per a 2025 AARP survey. New relationships post-divorce: 30% of seniors or in care facilities increase exposure, with 25% of retirement community residents reporting multiple partners, per a 2025 Journal of Gerontology. Viagra use, boosting ED treatment 70%, increases sexual frequency, but not always condom use. My advice: normalize safe sex talks with partners, no matter how awkward. A patient couple in their 70s avoided STIs by using condoms consistently after open dialogue. How's your current health status? Any recent changes in your relationships or sexual activity? Share below to keep the conversation going. 4. Prevention strategies. Staying safe and enjoying intimacy. Prevention is your shield. Here's a practical plan: blending science and sensitivity for intimate moments between partners. Condom use. Condoms reduce STI transmission 90%, for HIV, 80% for chlamydia, STIs, gonorrhea, per a 2025 CDC guideline. Use latex or polyurethane condoms. Avoid oil-based lubricants. Break latex 80% faster. A 62-year-old patient of mine used condoms with a new partner, preventing chlamydia. Regular testing. Screen yearly or with new partners. 70% of STIs in seniors are asymptomatic. Tests like NAAT for chlamydia, gonorrhea, 95% sensitivity, or RPR for syphilis, 98% specificity, are gold standards per a 2025 IDSA report. Home HIV tests have 99% accuracy. Vaccinations, HPV vaccine up to age 45 reduces cancer risk 90%. Hepatitis B vaccine lowers liver damage risk 95% per a 2025 NIH guide. Partner communication. Discuss STI history before intimacy. Couples who do report 40% higher trust per a 2025 Journal of Sexual Research. Try saying, "I care about us. Let's get tested together." It's discreet and builds closeness. Lifestyle boosts. Exercise, 150 minutes per week. Boosts immunity 20%, aiding STI clearance. Mediterranean diet reduces inflammation 15%, supporting sexual health. For intimacy, consider water-based lubricants to ease vaginal dryness, 40% reduction in discomfort. Or PDE5 inhibitors for ED, 70% effective, ensuring safe, enjoyable sex. A couple in my clinic, age 65, used lubricants and communication, enhancing satisfaction 50% while staying STI-free. My advice: make condoms part of foreplay. Mutual application can be intimate and safe. Have you or your partner ever discussed STI prevention? Share your thoughts below to help others. 5. Recognizing symptoms and seeking help. STIs in seniors are tricky. 70% are asymptomatic, delaying care. Watch for chlamydia, gonorrhea, burning urination, 20% of cases, discharge, 15%, pelvic pain, mimics, BPH in men, UTI in women, syphilis, sores, rashes, 10% missed as aging skin, neurological symptoms in late stages, 10%, HIV, fatigue, weight loss, night sweats, 50% misdiagnosed as aging, HPV, warts, abnormal growths, 15% progress to cancer if untreated. Seek care if symptoms persist greater than 24 hours. A 2025 STD journal notes 50% of senior cases are caught late, worsening outcomes. Tell your doctor, "I'm noticing unusual symptoms after intimacy." They're trained for this. My advice: don't delay. Early treatment resolves 90% of bacterial STIs. Are you noticing any of these symptoms, or are you due for a checkup? Let me know in the comments, and share this with loved ones. 6. Addressing stigma and encouraging awareness. Society often dismisses senior sexuality, leaving 80% of older adults uninformed about STI risks, per a 2025 AARP survey. Stigma delays testing. 30% of seniors avoid discussing sex with doctors, per a 2025 Journal of Gerontology. Yet intimacy is healthy. 55% of couples over 65 report active sex lives, boosting mood 30%. My take: normalizing STI talks empowers safe intimacy. A 70-year-old patient of mine overcame embarrassment to get tested, catching gonorrhea early. Advice: educate peers, share brochures or this video. What's one STI fact you've learned today? Share it below to spread awareness. 7. Wrapping up and looking ahead. STIs in older adults are rising. Chlamydia up 87%, syphilis 105%. But prevention is simple. Condoms, 90% effective. Testing, 70% asymptomatic. And open talks, 40% trust boost. From my heart, embrace safe intimacy to enjoy love without fear. I've seen patients thrive by acting early. Watch to the end for these tips. Subscribe to Vital Men 60 and comment. What's your age? And are you taking steps to stay STI free? Next, check out my video on fact versus fiction. Common misconceptions about men's health to debunk myths and keep your vitality strong. Stay safe and connected.